Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of My Tomorrow, Your Yesterday, a Japanese romance from 2016 that stars Sota Fukushi and Nana Komatsu. Now our protagonist in this is a 20-year-old boy, played by Sota Fukushi, who lives in Kyoto. Now he sees a beautiful girl, played by Nana Komatsu, on a train and instantly falls for her. So he gathers up the courage to ask her out on a date after they exit the train. Now, after an awkward introduction, the two promise to meet again in the following days. Now, as he spends time with this girl, however, he notices some strange things about her, and she eventually explains to him her fantastical situation. So from that plot synopsis, you might expect My Tomorrow, Your Yesterday to not be a typical romance film. And you would be correct in that assumption. This is a pretty cool premise to it that I've never seen implemented before, at least in this particular way. Now, I always try to avoid spoilers, so I'm going to be as vague as possible. The premise is fantastical, so you should be aware of that before going into it. It's simplistic on its surface, but also pretty thought-provoking. It kind of forces you while you're watching the film to piece certain things together in your mind. And you will probably need to watch this movie a second time in order to appreciate its script writing and kind of understand everything that's happening here. I thought it was pretty neat. It's also important to understand, however, that you do have to be a fan of romance movies to enjoy this. It does not transcend its genre to become something else, like a thriller or a horror movie or an action flick or anything like that. This is a romance film from start to finish. Even the problems that arise from this fantastical element are addressed through a romantic perspective and how it affects our protagonist's love life. But of course, this is a very different kind of romance film, which is the reason to watch this. Now, after I saw the movie, I did ask myself a question here. Would this movie have worked without the fantastical stuff that I keep vaguely referring to? Could it entertain us with just the romance stuff? If it was just a basic romance, would it have been a good movie? And after thinking about it, I think it would have been pretty good. It still would have been pretty good, albeit kind of generic. The bizarre premise that's infused into it eventually definitely adds most of the interesting content and elevates it accordingly. Sota Fukushi is adequate in the lead role. He does what is necessary, but there's nothing particularly impressive about his acting in this. Nana Komatsu definitely has the better performance of the two. She portrays a feeling of melancholy and sadness, even when she's experiencing happy moments. And that kind of leads into these weird elements that pop up. She did a very good job of expressing that in subtle, convincing ways. I liked her performance in this one quite a bit. Now, do keep in mind that you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit here, because this movie kind of creates its own rules without really explaining why they exist. They only tell you what you need to know in this film, and I'm fine with that, because if they tried to explain everything, it would have become an unfocused mess. They chose to focus on the romantic component specifically, and I think it works. Also, this is pretty deliberately paced, so you will need a bit of patience. But overall, I definitely enjoyed My Tomorrow, Your Yesterday. If you like romance films with a twist, and I know I'm being extremely vague here in this review, but it's a romance film with a twist. Check it out if that's up your alley. It's currently available on Region 3 DVD and Blu-ray with English subtitles. And as always, I'll see you next time.